there is. Who are we really? And believe me, their answer is a wild journey, one that takes us from the very beginning of the universe right down to the absolute core of your own consciousness. You know, we've all done it. You look up at the night sky and just wonder, where did all this come from? How did any of this happen? Well, the Aitareya Upanishad doesn't just ask that question, it tackles it head-on with a pretty mind-blowing explanation for everything. So get this, the text opens with this incredible vision. Before there was anything, no time, no space, no universe, there was just one single conscious reality. It's called the Atman, or the self. And the entire cosmos, everything we see and know, was sparked into existence by a single thought from this consciousness. I shall create worlds. Just, wow. Okay, so how in the world does a single thought become an entire universe? That sounds pretty impossible, right? Well, let's break down this cosmic creation story. It all starts with understanding what this Atman really is. Now, it's really important to get this. The Atman isn't some vague, impersonal energy field. The texts are clear. It's the supreme, all-knowing, all-powerful consciousness. It's the ultimate reality that, out of its own being, decides to manifest the universe. The Upanishad uses this really cool metaphor. It says the Atman is like a great magician or a conjurer. The universe isn't made out of some separate stuff like a potter using clay. Instead, the Atman literally creates the cosmos out of itself, becoming the world. It's a lot like how you can create an entire vivid dream world all from your own mind. And this whole creation thing isn't just some big, chaotic explosion. No, it unfolds in this very precise, almost logical sequence. Think of it like a cosmic waterfall. It starts with that one single intention. That thought then cascades down, forming the fundamental realms of existence. Then, from those realms, a giant cosmic being is formed. And from that being's body parts and senses, all the forces of nature and the deities who represent them are born. It's this incredible, beautiful flow from perfect unity into this amazing, complex diversity. Okay, so that raises a pretty big question, doesn't it? If the universe has this divine, perfect origin, born from pure consciousness, why is life so often full of pain and anxiety and suffering? How did we get from a perfect cosmic thought to, well, traffic jams and dentist appointments? The Upanishads do not pull any punches here. They paint this vivid and honestly pretty terrifying picture of the human condition. They say we've fallen into what they call samsara, and they describe it as a vast, shoreless ocean of suffering, an ocean where the water itself is made of misery, and it's full of crocodiles, which are things like disease, old age, and death. Yikes. But here's the key insight. This suffering, it isn't just random bad luck. The texts diagnose the problem, saying it comes from three things that are all connected. It all starts with ignorance, basically a kind of spiritual amnesia where we've forgotten our true nature. That forgetting leads to desire, that constant nagging feeling that we need something out there to make us happy. And that desire is what fuels our actions, or karma, which just creates more consequences that keep us trapped in the cycle. See how it works? But here's the good news. The Upanishads don't just leave us stranded in that scary ocean. They offer a way out. And the solution isn't about finding something external to save us. It's about taking a journey inward, through all the layers of yourself, to rediscover the truth that we've all forgotten. And luckily for us, the Aitareya Upanishad gives us a map for this inner journey. It says our identity is made up of 5 layers or sheaths called kosas. You can think of it like an onion. The whole point is to understand each layer for what it is, without mistaking it for your true self, and then peel them back one by one until you get to the very center. So we start with the outermost, most obvious layer, the physical body. It's called the sheath of food because, well, it's literally made from the food we eat, from the earth. When we think this is who we really are, we get trapped in all the anxieties about how we look, about getting older, and about, mortality. Now go one level deeper, past the physical body, and you find the sheath of vital energy, or prana. This is the life force itself. It's the electricity that powers the machine. It's literally the difference between a living body and a corpse. Next up, we get to the mind. This is that busy, buzzing, often chaotic inner world of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. When we identify completely with this layer, we get tossed around by every single passing mood or worry. Sound familiar? But beyond that noisy, emotional mind, there's another layer, the sheath of intellect. This is the part of you that has wisdom. It's the part that can step back and actually observe your thoughts. It's the faculty of reason and discernment that lets us make conscious choices instead of just reacting all the time. And then, finally, we reach the very core, the sheath of bliss. This is the deepest, most subtle layer. It's a profound sense of peace and joy that doesn't depend on anything happening on the outside. It's a direct reflection of our true, unconditional nature. Okay, so let's recap. We've journeyed inward, we've peeled back the layers of the body, the energy, the mind, the intellect, and even this deep layer of bliss. So, what's left? What is the ultimate reality that all these layers were covering up? Well, the destination, the final truth at the center of the onion, has a name. Brahman. Brahman is the source of absolutely everything. It's the ultimate, unconditioned, absolute reality of the entire universe. It's the very ground of all being. Now, how do you even begin to define something that's, well, everything? The Aitareya Upanishad gives it a shot, but it doesn't describe Brahman with a list of adjectives. It defines it by its very essence. It says Brahman is satyam, which means absolute, unchanging truth. It's gnanam, which means it doesn't just have knowledge, it is pure consciousness itself. And it's anantam, boundless, endless infinity, totally unlimited by space, time, or anything else you can think of. And this is where it all comes together. This is the philosophical climax, the absolute mic drop moment of the Upanishads. That individual self, the Atman, the thing you found at the very core of your being, is exactly the same thing as Brahman, the fabric of all reality. The journey inward doesn't lead you to some small, separate soul. It leads to the staggering realization that you were the destination all along. In the famous words of the tradition, you are that. So, what happens then? What does it actually mean to live your life when you truly, fully realize this unity? What does it feel like to become one with everything? Well, the key to freedom, the key to being fearless, is to completely let go of the idea that you are separate from anything else. The texts are so clear about this. The very moment you see even the slightest distinction, the tiniest gap between yourself and that ultimate reality, that's when fear and danger and suffering all come rushing back in. But for the person who gets it, who really makes this realization, the whole world transforms. You're no longer this small, fragile person lost in that great, scary ocean of samsara. By realizing your true nature is infinite, you become totally fearless. You enjoy all desires at once, because how can you desire something when nothing is separate from you? You haven't just escaped the ocean, you've realized you are the ocean. And so, this ancient wisdom leaves us with this final, really provocative question. A question that just echoes down through the centuries. And it challenges the most basic ideas we have about ourselves. If your deepest, truest self is one with the infinite, unchanging reality of the entire universe, what is there really to be afraid of?